It's now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 20/20 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Ready, blue lady, screen, triple team. Come to wide world. We want it. Come on.
Jameis now on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. On play action, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. From the gun, Rivers. Well, he'll find Hall. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the 49ers here is a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Hey, let's get it for first. Watch the run. Watch the run. Let's go.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. Oh, good footwork on the spin. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
That's the end of the first quarter with no score.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 6-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check right. Hey, alert 3.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
12.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Taking it about the 36. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Ready. Check 53's right. Let's go, D.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Hand off Coleman, right side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Robbie Anderson. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
We're okay. We're okay. Black the key. Check. He's coming. Hey.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the run. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Run 80. Wait, 89.
Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Rivers on first down. They'll find Miller. That's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
55, hey, whoa.
They go play action. Rivers. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
On third down, Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3 timeouts.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
At the 6-yard line.
Ready? Blue ready. Follow. Watch the run.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half here. Winston. Deep ball for Goodwin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report, here's Jonathan Coachman. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, it's Cohen. And look at this for the second straight play. The 49er defense drops him for a loss. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Red!
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
And the Bears first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And 10 yards to go.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Delta! Cluster. Switch. No.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The 20. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now 14-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They try again with Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Alpha! Get the ball. 555.
Rivers. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. Coleman. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Anderson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now a give right side, Coleman. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 21-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 23-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I got you. Pump. Switch. Orange 5-4. White 89.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen, and this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
52. Let's go, D.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hall. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Oh, Cohen lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. On first down, it's Coleman. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, you don't want to see me. White. And even. 3, check 3. Showing it. Let's go.
They will run again with Coleman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready? Black 25. 56. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Mike. Ready. Blue ready. Green, triple team.
Defense wins championships, baby. Check. 50 over. Check. 53's Mike.
From the gun, Winston. And that's complete to Sanders. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down. So 4th down, Winston to the sidelines, Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal try. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run it with Coleman. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it is 28-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
1st down, Bears.
Set, clock 15. Hey, easy. Bring it.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Kill. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Draw play, Cohen. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rivers nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw, Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cohen. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So the victory here for Sanford.